Hello, everyone. I'm Heidi Dean. If you don't know me, I'm a social media coach for actors and a backstage expert. And I work with Broadway stars, Emmy Award winners, producers, casting directors, and actors just like you guys on your social media. And I am so very excited to be here to teach you guys 10 ways to clean up your social media for your acting career today. So let me see. I'm not seeing chat here. Let's see. But in the chat, let me know where you guys are coming from. Where are you watching me from today? I'm in New York, which is usually the greatest place to live on earth. Not so much right now. But let me know where you guys are joining me from in the chat. Okay, perfect. And Katie, I'm not seeing the chat right now, so you might have to run it for me. Okay, cool. So let's face it, guys, we are cooped up, right? We're cooped up, we're stuck at home, and the business is kind of at a pause, right? Um, the good news is, though, that this pause is giving us time to work on things that we may normally pause and push off. And a lot of that's your actor marketing, right? Maybe you aren't updating your resume enough. Maybe you're not working on your website. Maybe you need to update all your casting profiles or your backstage profile or your IMDb or your social media. Those are usually the things we push off. And I guess the good news is right now, guys, we have time, right? So we have time for that now. And the great news is, though, guys, is that when this ends, and it will end, business is going to boom and the business is going to boom, which is truly, truly exciting. And people are going to need entertainment. And I want to make sure that your social media looks awesome so that when you get back out there and you're auditioning and people are looking you up, you are making a positive first impression. All right. And Katie, let me know if you can hear me and see me because I cannot see a chat at all. So I just want to make sure you guys can, in fact, see me and hear me. Okay. So the reason why this first impression is so important right now, guys, is that the business is different than it was 5 years ago or even 3 years ago. Today casting, it happens fast, and a lot of it does happen online. This is so different from years ago, and it's very possible that you are going to make your first impression online as an actor before you ever meet someone in the audition room, especially with the rise in self tape. So we're going to see even more self tapes um, after everything that's happening. So your first impression online is critical. Great. Thank you, Katie, for the thumbs up. So let's do this, guys. Let's talk about 10 things you can do the minute we're done here today to clean up your social media so that works for you, not against you. You're definitely going to want to, if you have it on you, take out a piece of paper, take out a pen to take notes. I'm going to give you guys a lot of tangible tools to use today. Okay. So the first thing I want you guys to do is I want you to make sure that you're on the right platforms for your career. So we're really cleaning up your big social media universe, right? Before we even go into your profiles and change your pictures and your bios, which we're going to talk about today, I want to make sure you're playing in the right places, the right platforms for you and for your career. Okay? You should be picking platforms for your acting career based on your career goals, not just where your friends hang out, right? That's hard because sometimes we join a network because we joined it in high school or college, depending on how old we are, right? We didn't actually join the network to use it for our career. So what I want you to do first, guys, is think about the platforms you're on and make sure that they are the right ones for your career right now. Okay. And with my clients and my students in my online classes, we go through a series of 4 questions to really decide if the platforms that you're on are right for you. These questions are awesome. I'm going to give them to you in just 1 minute. They're awesome also because they help you decide if a new platform that pops up in social media, and they're popping up every single day, right? It seems like that. You can ask yourself these 4 questions, and they're going to help you decide whether or not this new platform is right for you and your career. Okay, so the 4 questions you need to ask, I want you to look at the platforms you're using right now. And the first one is, will this platform help me reach my career goals? So think about why you're using social media. Okay. Why are you using social media for your career? Some people, they want to build an audience, right? So are using it to build an audience and build your brand. Some people are really just using it because they've heard about the awesome benefits of relationship building. And that's really one of the main reasons to use social media. Um, are you using it to stay top of mind with the people you already know? Are you using it to expand your network and know more people? Those could be the goals for your why you're using social media. If you're creating content, maybe you have a web series on YouTube, then obviously you have to think about what platforms you've chosen to spread the word about your content, right? Because the goal would then be to spread the word about your web series. So think about right now the platforms you've chosen, are they helping you reach your career goals? Okay. Number two, do the industry pros that I've already worked with and that I already know hang out on the platforms I've chosen? Or I guess, or and the ones that I want to know, do they spend time there? So have you given thought to the shows you might want to be a part of? Are the people you want to work with, the circles you want to be in the business? What platforms are they on? Okay. And what platforms can you become a part of their network on? If you are really focusing on like your Facebook page and your Facebook profile, um, it's not the best. They're not the best places to really expand your network, right? They're great for your profile is great for keeping connections with the people you already know. Okay, but not exactly good for expanding your network. So think about that. Okay, so that's question 2. Question 3 applies to you if you're on a show or in a show. So if you're working right now, guys, do my fans, and I don't mean right now, but a lot of people aren't working right now, but when you're on a show, do my fans spend time there? Okay, so really think about the audience for the show you're on. So important. And also, does the show spend time there? If you're in a Shonda Rhimes show or Tyler Perry show, a lot of those shows live tweet. And if you aren't on Twitter, then guess what? You're missing out on a lot of opportunities to build your following, to build your brand, and get to know new people. Okay, and not just the audience, but also the people in the business. So ask yourself, do my fans and does the project spend time there? And number 4, so important, is this a platform that I enjoy? You're not going to get good at something. You're not going to want to use something that you really just don't enjoy. Okay. So make sure after you've learned the 101, after you know how the platform works, you've given it some time, do I enjoy this platform? Okay. So those 4 questions, guys. Will this platform help me reach my career goals? Do the people in the industry I know and want to know hang out there on the platforms? If you're on a show, do my fans hang out there? And is this a platform I enjoy? Questions to ask. And once you go through those 4 questions, you're going to know if the platforms you're on right now are right for your career. Okay. It'll be crystal clear to you. Just as an example. So maybe after going through these questions, you realize that maybe your Facebook page isn't helping you reach those big goals of relationship building. Okay. So it's not really helping you meet the people you want to know. Also, you set up your Facebook page thinking that you're going to build this big audience, but it's harder, especially if you're not investing in ads. And maybe I asked, is this a platform you enjoy? Maybe Facebook is zapping your energy right now. So maybe you decide right now that Twitter and Instagram, they're going to be better to help you with your goals of meeting new people. And you spend more time there and less time on Facebook, or no time on Facebook right now. Okay. I would rather see you guys totally rock out one platform for your career than half-ass 4 and just get burnt out. Does that make sense? Give me some thumbs up, some love in the chat, guys, if that makes sense. And Katie, I'm going to ask you if you see some questions that are pertain to what I'm talking about, if you can text them to me so I can answer them at the end, because I still can't see questions in the chat right now. But I want to be able to answer questions. Thanks, guys. So like I said, I'd rather see you work really hard, 1,000% on 1 or 2 platforms than 4 and just get burnt out and not see results for your career, because that's what we're talking about today, right? So I really want you guys, that's number 1. Think about the platforms you've chosen and are they helping you meet your goals? Okay. Let me just get out I have a list of the 10 things so I don't go out of order or I don't forget any of them. All right. And very important, guys, say the Facebook example, if you decide not to use your Facebook page right now, if that was your decision, it's not helping you reach your goals, you're going to play on Twitter and Instagram, well, don't get rid of the account. You don't have to get rid of it, because you might also have your name and you may use it down the road. So you don't have to get rid of it. What I suggest you do on platforms like Facebook and Twitter, we can pin a post to the top. So what I suggest you do is you create a post that says, "Hey guys, I don't play here much, but I love Instagram. So go party with me on Instagram," and leave the link. And then you can take that post after you've put it out on Facebook or Twitter or whatever platform you've decided to not use for now, and you can pin it to the top. So it's the first thing people see when they get there. They know, oh, they're not really active here, but then they know where to find you, right? So you can still use that Facebook page to grow your Instagram or to grow your Twitter account. Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense. Perfect. So that's number one, guys. Number two, let's hop into the accounts now. Now that we've chosen our universe, our social media universe, let's actually look at let's look at your accounts. So the first thing I want you guys to do here, number two, is revisiting your social media bios. Okay, I want you to look at your bio with a fresh eye as of today. Is it your bio that you made 5 years ago? Because truthfully, you're not the same actor you were 5 years ago. You're not the same human you were 5 years ago. So make sure you're updating your bio and it reflects who you are now. It reflects the projects you've done. Also, if you have any hashtags or usernames in your bio, make sure they still work. I know it sounds funny, but if you're linking to your reps or a project you did, people change usernames all the time. Okay, people delete accounts all the time. So make sure that everything in your bio does work and it reflects who you are. Okay. Number three, guys, make sure your profile photos are up to date. Now, your profile photo, I'm talking about that little tiny photo that you get on every single social network. For most actors, it probably should be your most recent headshot or a professional photo that really shows us your vibe. Okay. But it should be something recent, shows your vibe, and really shows us what you're most castable as, right? Especially if you're going to use social media for networking. Okay. So make sure you go there and ask yourself, am I using the latest headshot, the headshot that really shows people who I am and my vibe? But even more important, I want to make sure that you're using the same photo on all your social networks. And sometimes I say this to people and they're confused. They're like, well, why? Why can't I use a different one here and a different one on YouTube and a different one? If they're all your social media accounts that you're using for acting under your name, they should be consistent. And here's why. It can take between 7 and 12 times to recognize a brand online. And you guys are a brand. Don't make it easy. Don't make it hard for me to know it's you, whether I'm talking to you on Twitter or whether I'm talking to you on Instagram. Okay. So make it easy for me to know it's you. I can't tell you how many times I'm talking to an actor on Twitter and I'm also talking to an actor on Instagram, and it's the same person, even the same name, but the photo's different, and I don't realize it's the same person. I see thousands of people online every day, and a lot of the casting directors and the people in the industry that you guys are networking with online, they see tons of people. So make it easy for me to know it's you no matter where it is. Okay. Until the world knows you, everybody in the world knows you, make it easy, which hopefully will be very soon, right? Thumbs up for that, right? So, and while you're at it, let's do it. Let's extend this profile photo headshot cleanup. Sometimes we neglect our casting profiles. When we're done here, not only make sure that your profile photo on social media, make sure that is showing your vibe, but make sure your casting profiles, your IMDb, your backstage, your website, make sure they're all updated with your current headshot. It's a great time to do some spring cleaning, right? So has anybody been like me? I feel like this is one of the reasons I wanted to do this topic of spring cleaning is my house has never looked cleaner. I've gone totally Marie Kondo on my house right now. Even furniture's in different places. I have stuff to donate. It's actually been very therapeutic. So that's one reason I wanted to do the social media cleaning for your career as well. Okay, great. Thank you, Katie. I see some questions right now. Great. And thank you, Ariana Fire and Jack Dwyer. Those are great questions, and I will answer them when I get through number 1 through 10. Okay, perfect, guys. So we just talked profile photos. Let's talk about those cover photos and header photos. If you don't know what I'm talking about, LinkedIn, Facebook profiles, Facebook pages, Twitter, YouTube channel art, just wherever you're watching me right now, at the top of YouTube, at the top of Backstage, you will see they have a big header. It's like a billboard for you, right? I say it's like a billboard of you that shows us who you are and what you love. Don't leave it blank. Please make sure, go and check all your platforms where it exists. It doesn't exist on Instagram, but check all the other platforms and make sure that header reflects who you are now. Make sure it's not the blue box on Twitter. It's not a field of flowers. It's not an ocean, right? I think that's a great space for actors to really update us with maybe your most recent project or booking, as long as it's already, aired. Tell us what you just did. Or if you're in a show, so say you're on a tour or, on Broadway or doing some kind of theater show, why not have a shot from it up there? So it's really updating us with your most recent work. So look at that header photo, look at that cover photo today, and ask yourself, is this recent? Can I update this in any way? Now, I love social media right now so much, especially for actors and people. Not to say you guys aren't good with design, but versus businesses, which might be able to outsource their design. There's an app for everything, guys. There is an app to create anything for your social media without being, and you don't have to be a designer. So these header photos in the past, it would have been you would have had to know the size, you would have had to know Photoshop. And let me give you two resources so that you guys can create one for free when we're done here today. The first resource, canva.com. So Canva. So canva.com is going to help you make that header photo. They're going to give you all different templates. So you don't have to know the size of that YouTube channel art. You don't have to know the size of that Twitter header. They're going to give it to you. And it's completely free to use. Okay. And Fotor, Fotor. So if you don't like Canva, go check out Fotor. All right. So that's going to help you guys clean up that header, really update us with what's going on in your actor's life. Okay. Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense. So number one, we're making sure you're on the right platforms. Number two, we are revisiting those social media bios. Number three, we're making sure your profile photos are up to date. Number four, we're cleaning up that header photo and that cover photo. Number five, link cleanup. So every social media platform usually allows us to have some sort of link in our bio, right? So make sure you put something there. Number one, I so many times I see an actor online and it's completely blank. So if you don't have a website, if you don't have a casting profile, which I'm assuming most of you guys do, if you don't have I think I said website, but if you don't have a website or an IMDb, at least send us to another social network to help grow that social network. Okay. So make sure there's a link, but also make sure it works. I can't tell you how many times the link doesn't work, especially if you guys put an IMDb link there. And actually, this will help you. I have a YouTube channel you guys will be able to find since you're in the YouTube universe when you're done here. It's easy, youtube.com/Heidi Dean. You just look up Heidi Dean social media for actors on YouTube. You're going to find a gazillion videos. So my channel is completely social media for actors, marketing, online marketing for actors. And I have a video about IMDb Pro, how to set it up, how to clean it up, everything. But also I show you how to do your link properly. So if your link is not working in social media and trying to link to something like that, the video will show you how. So just look up IMDb for actors, Heidi Dean, and you'll find it. Okay. So also, if you guys are using if you're on Instagram and you're using one of those tools that gives you multiple links to your bio, like TapLink or Linktree or Link in Bio, and if you have no idea what I'm talking about, don't worry. Instagram only gives us one link, but what these tools do is they allow us to have multiple links in our bio. They create kind of a mini menu. They're really, really awesome. And so if you're using one of those, go look at what you have on there. It shouldn't be the same stuff you had last year. Is it to your most recent reel or your most recent clips? Are you sending us where you want us to go? Okay. This is all stuff we neglect. It seems basic, but it's stuff we neglect. It's stuff we don't clean up. And now is the time I want you guys to clean up all of these things. Okay. So that was your link cleanup. Number 6, I want you guys to do an audit of all your recent posts. Okay. You don't have to spend hours, but I want you to go to the platforms you're using and I want you to scroll. Okay. I want you to scroll and I want you to ask yourself, do these posts look like me? Do they sound like me? Okay. Do they show my best self? Okay. We're in a year of politics right now. We're also just in a year of time of crisis. So make sure your posts are showing your best self. Would you want your agent, your manager, that producer of that dream show, casting director to see your post? Okay. If the answer is no or maybe not, then do a little cleanup. Okay. Just scroll down and do a little cleanup. I always say your vibe attracts your tribe on social media. It's completely true. Look at your account from the outside and go, what kind of vibe am I putting out there? And is it a vibe of somebody, an actor that people would want to work with, you know, for hours in the rehearsal room or hours on set? What is the vibe I'm putting out there? Okay. So that will be part of your social media cleanup today. Okay, great. Um, so we just kind of talked about showing your best self. So number 7 goes along with that. And if you're just joining me now, I just saw the numbers just went up a little bit. We're doing 10 ways to clean up your social media for your acting career. And this replay will be on Backstage's channel if the internet gods are with us afterwards. So you'll be able to catch up on the 1 through 6 that we've already covered. So number 7 is to do a Facebook and Instagram audit of your photos. Okay. So and what I want you to do specifically is look at the photos you're tagged in. Because very often we get tagged in stuff that is either just not us or stuff that we may not want to have out there in the world, especially on Facebook. Our friends might be tagging us and stuff, but that doesn't mean we want that out there for people in the business to see. Okay. So I want you to untag yourself from anything that obviously isn't you or isn't showing your best self. Okay. I think it wasn't a backstage interview. Backstage interviewed casting director Benton Whitley, and he said something. I'm just going to paraphrase it, but he said, "Those drunken pictures of you on Saturday night on your Facebook page don't give me confidence that I should cast you in that national tour." And he regularly says that he checks actor social media before he casts you in his projects because social media says a lot about you and your habits. Make sure that like one of your friends isn't sabotaging your opportunities. Okay. So it's so easy to do this, guys. On Facebook, you're going to want to just look at photos of you, but not just the photos you've uploaded. Make sure you look at the photos that other people have uploaded. And if you need to untag yourself, you just click on the picture and then go into the top right. There's like a little dot, 3 dots. If you click on that, untag myself is one of the options. Okay. Same thing on Instagram. So on Instagram, we can just go right into the Instagram app. And most of you guys probably know where your tag photos, but just in case you don't, your tag photos, can you see this? Tag photos are, I'm doing this backwards. They're over here. There we go. So those are your tag photos. When you click in, you're going to see a feed of just the photos you've been tagged in. You can see Backstage just tag me in this one for this. So I would go through here, and I do it regularly too, to see like, okay, some of these are my students in my classes and my clients. Some of these are from speaking engagements. Some of these are where I tagged myself, but then there's other ones where people are just trying to get my attention. Or if there was something obviously inappropriate when I was like out with my friends, especially if I was an actor, I would go in. All you have to do is click on the post. Then there are 3 dots here. And then you're going to go to tag options. And then one of those choices is actually to untag yourself. Okay. Now, there's a lot of cleanup you can do in this way. It's a little bit more than I can show you because I actually love to teach with things on my screen, but I can't really do that right now. But I will send you guys to a video that's on YouTube that will help you do it. Just look up "clean up your social media for your acting career." And I show you like on the screen how to untag yourself, how to do a search on your page, just in case you think you might have said something that might get you in trouble down the road. I give you tools to do all of that. So it really will help you with your cleanup, your deep cleaning of your social media. Okay, let me take a sip of coffee here. All right. And anybody else that's new, let me know where you guys are coming in from today. Like I said in the beginning, I am coming in from New York, but I know we have people from all over the world today. Awesome. And thank you so much for joining me today. I want to send so much love to you guys and your families with what's going on right now. Just sending lots of good energy and love. And thank you to Backstage for setting this up. I mean, they're bringing you everything from fitness to meditation to marketing tools to casting director interviews to big stars to takeovers with big stars. So thank you Backstage for being so great with helping actors, especially during this time. So lots of love to you guys. So number 7, like I said, we're going to do that Facebook and Instagram audit and untag ourselves from any photos that we shouldn't be in, that we don't want out there. Number 8, we're going to clean up your followers. And what I mean by that is I want you guys to get your ratio in check. There's a lot of you guys that are following a ton of people, but you only have so many followers. Okay. So example, you'd be following 4,000 people on Instagram or Twitter, and you only have 500 followers. And that just does not look very influential. And when you're on social media, yes, sometimes it's about the numbers, but sometimes it's just about looking influential. So we need to get the ratio in check. Okay. And here's the deal. Some of those people that aren't following you back, you may have followed like 5 years ago when you joined Instagram. They suggest that you follow these different people. Some of those people aren't even actively using the platform. They're not following you back. They're not following you, and it was probably years ago. They're not joining your party. So what I say is make some room for some new people. So clean up those followers, get that ratio in check, okay? Slowly, just a couple people a day. And make sure you're not following way more people than you have following you. And there's another reason for this. A lot of people don't realize that you can only follow 7,500 people on Instagram before Instagram says, whoa, you can't follow any more people. You have to unfollow people. Same thing on Twitter. Twitter, when you hit 5,000 people that you're following, there's a 10% ratio that has to happen. So you have to have a certain amount of people following you for you to follow more people. So don't wait until you hit that cap. Just clean up the followers now, guys. And even more important, I want you guys to unfollow or mute. I say mute because sometimes it might be someone you've worked with in the business and you don't want to unfollow them. So unfollow or mute anybody who does not make you feel inspired, informed, empowered, or anybody that just makes you feel like poop. So unfollow or mute anyone who doesn't make you feel inspired, empowered, informed, or anybody that makes you feel like poop. Okay, guys? So important, especially in times like now. We don't want to see that in our feed, right? Clean that up too. That's important for our mental health, okay? And if we're being told we have to be on social media for your career, right, as an actor, then let's make sure it's a safe place. Make sure it's a place we want to go to. So start with that. Okay. And thank you, Reagan Bennett. I see that's a great question about social media bios, and I will get to that. Reagan wants to know what should be included in our social media bio and how personal should they get. And I will answer that in just a couple minutes. All right. So number 8 was clean up your followers. Number 10 is I want you guys to see what's working. I want you to analyze your post. And I'm not getting all techie on you here. I am somebody who likes analytics and tech and stats and all that. But you are using social media for your career, for your business, right? If you were a business using social media, you would actually be investing money into a posting strategy. And then from time to time, you would be checking your analytics to see what's working and what's not, to see what your audience is responding to, tweaking it, and then trying again and doing more of that. Well, as an actor, you should be doing the same thing. And most of the time when I tell actors, when I say, have you checked your analytics? They go, my what? Like, well, where would I even find that information? You have access to that on most social media platforms. Twitter, you can go right into Twitter and look at your analytics. Just go right into your settings. And it's running slow right now because I'm going live. You could go right to your menu, and then you can actually go and see your analytics, especially on desktop. That's the best place because you're going to see more stats. And what Twitter is going to show you in your analytics, they're going to show you your top post for the month, your top post with media. What are people responding to? They're even going to show you like your top influencers that are following you, which is great for collaborations. But I want you to look at this information and see what's working, and then do more of it. Sometimes we're in a bubble in social media. We're putting content out there, but we don't really see what our audience is responding to. Okay. And look at everything, not just likes. Look at comments, replies. What are people sharing? Those stats are actually better than passive likes. Now, on a Facebook page, all you have to do is go to your page and go to Insights. It's on the settings bar, and they're going to list all your recent content way back. You can sift by date, month, year, and they're going to tell you what's working, what's not working. So I want you to look at that. So instead of just blaming the algorithm, let's see what's working, what's not. And let's clean it up. Let's get rid of those old ideas and start new ones. Okay. But knowledge is power, and our analytics is where all the knowledge is. Now, on Instagram, you have to have a creator account or a business account to get access to those analytics. But when you do, those are amazing. And you just go to your page, you go to those three little lines here in the corner. I don't know if you guys can see it. And then you're going to go to Insights. And not only are you going to get just tons of audience insights on who your audience is, but you'll be able to look at your posts, your stories, and they'll be able to tell you like what's working, what's not, what are people responding to, replying to, you can even figure out what hashtags are working for you and which aren't. It's amazing information. So make sure you guys do that. I want you to, before you post anything, check your analytics, see what's really working, and do more of that. Okay. Recently, I figured out with my YouTube videos, I started making my own GIFs on Giphy for my YouTube videos. They looked kind of like my thumbnail, but I was moving and I was animated. And when I went to Twitter, I realized like the engagement, I noticed engagement was up anyways on those, but the engagement on the GIFs had pretty much skyrocketed. And the click-through rate, which is how many people actually clicked on that to go to my YouTube channel, which you guys know, if you have a web series, that's important, right? It was up, but it was because of the type of post I was creating. And I only knew that because of my analytics. Okay. Very, very important. Let me know if that makes sense, guys. Okay, cool. And lastly, guys, before I get to questions, after we've done all these things, so after you've decided on the platforms, like decided you're on the right place, after you've done your bio, your profile photo, your header photo, after you've cleaned up your links, you've looked at your recent post and you did that audit we talked about, you untagged yourself if necessary, you've cleaned up your followers, and then you went to your analytics and you saw what was working, what's not. That's what we talked about today, right? Lots of good stuff. Number 10 really is to do a double check. So on platforms like YouTube and Facebook, we can actually hit view as yourself or view as the viewer, right? Or view as yourself. So I want you to go look at that platform like you were, just a random stranger, or a casting director, or anybody. Just go look at it, somebody that's not you. And what are you seeing? Do you like the photos that pop up? Do you like the order things are in? Because Facebook pages, we can move things around. Just do a double check that everything you just did, all the cleanup work you just did, is what you want it to be. Okay. Then, as part of number 10, just Google yourself. Google yourself and see what comes up. Social media is one of the first things that pops up in a Google search for your name. And see if you like the bio that pops up. See if you like the images. Just look at that first impression. And of course, if you don't like something, go through steps 1 through 9 that we talked about today. Do some cleanup. Clean up the bio, that header, double check. Okay? So those are 10 things you guys can do, very tangible things you can do right away. And I really want to make sure you guys take action. What's great now is there's so much content out there right now for actors that's free because of what's going on. Everyone is just giving so much of themselves, which is fantastic. But I know myself that if I see something for free, I don't always take action. If I buy a class, you better believe I take action, right? Because that's my money. But when I watch a lot of free content, you don't always take action. So I want you guys to promise me. I want you guys to pinky swear right now. Okay? Pinky swear that you are going to take action. In fact, write pinky swear in the chat. And let me know what you're going to work on first. Okay? Like I said, I can't see all your comments right now in the chat, but when this is done, I'm going to go back and when it's live, I'll look at chat and see what you guys are going to work on. Are you going to clean up your bio? Are you going to just do that check on what platforms you're on? Are you going to do that very important cleaning of your followers and make sure there's no negative vibes, in your universe online? let me know what you're going to work on. Okay. So let me get my phone because Katie's been sending me questions. Let me have a drink too. Mm-mm-mm. All right. All right. Okay, I'm going to take Reagan first because it's directly Reagan or Regan. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. Reagan Bennett because it's directly about something we talked about today. They said, what should be included in a social media bio and how personal should I get? It's just a perfect question. Your social media bio, well, your social media in general needs to be a good balance of you, the actor, and you, the human. Okay. And this is a big mistake I see so many actors making. You guys are told that you're supposed to be on social media for your acting career. So you've set up these really stiff, like businessy pages where you post about the actor hustle and what it's like when you book it and living the actor's dream and, living the actor's life. And that's great. But we're missing half the story, right? Your fans, they want to know about your latest booking, but they also want to know how you're just like them. Okay. So please, 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 for this goes for all of your social media, Reagan, but also obviously your bio, because your bio really gives us the preview of what to expect in your account. So what I like to say, Reagan, is I want you to think about what you're going to post about. On Instagram, I call this your Fab Four, the 4 things that make you absolutely fabulous that you're going to put out there in the world. Okay. Not Fab 8, Fab 4, or even in some cases, Fab 3. We're getting very specific about who you are so we can keep sending that brand message out into the world. People can start getting to know you for those things. And yes, acting is going to be one of those things. And maybe another thing might be that maybe you also write in addition to acting, or you have a web series that you create. Maybe that's also on there. But maybe the other 2 things are, and this is going to be different for every actor. Maybe one of those Fab 4, the 3rd thing is maybe it's your mom's life. Maybe your life as a mom. Maybe because as long as that matches up to your brand as an actor. Okay. Maybe it's that you're passionate vegan, or you're like really into fitness, especially fitness matches up to your brand, right? You want to do more Marvel stuff, more action stuff, then yeah, why not include your fitness journey and what you do every day to stay fit in your social media? Just like people like The Rock do. It's all part of their brand, right? So that's the first thing we have to do, Reagan, is really think about what we're going to use for our social media accounts in general. Think about those 4 things, and then we can put them into our bio, right? So your bio should be personal and professional. It should have both. So obviously keywords. So you guys want to write this down. Here's what I tell people to put in their bio specifically. Number 1, keywords. Okay, so keywords that help us key into who you are. Keywords can also help us show up in search for Twitter. Okay, actor, voice actor, depending on what you do, producer, theater actor, whatever you are, wherever you fit into the business. Make sure you're using keywords. Tom Hanks doesn't have to say he's an actor because we all know that, right? He can find some cryptic, cute way to say it because he's just going to show up in search and trend. But you can actually show up in search if you're using keywords. Okay. Associations is another thing, Reagan, we can put in our bio. So an association would be Actors Union. So are you in SAG? Are you in Equity? Maybe a college, a university, an alma mater that you went to, a theater company you're in, especially if it's something you do all the time. These are associations. And on platforms like Twitter, if we use the handle, it actually helps us show up in search. I have Backstage Expert in my bio most of the time on Twitter, and it actually helps me show up in search for Backstage. So because I'm associated with Backstage, right? Any shows you're on, that's also an association. Okay, that will help you show up in searches for that show, as long as it's okay to talk about it. I love this story that I'm going to tell, that this was back, I think, Golden Globes last year. Mary Poppins Returns did a teaser. I don't know if you guys remember that. Give me a thumbs up. They did a teaser for the film coming out. And everyone was super excited because no one had seen anything about it. And they premiered it during the Golden Globes. Well, by then, the actors were allowed to say, it was already in their IMDb, that they were part of the project. But most of them hadn't changed their social media bios. But this one guy in the chorus, which is not a dig, that's like, how many of you guys would love to be in the chorus of Mary Poppins Returns? Pretty awesome, right? He had put it in his bio. So what happens is when Twitter exploded, when that that trailer went live, he trended as well in the feed. So what happened was people are looking at the hashtag search, and in between some posts, they would give you suggested accounts. And they were suggesting that you follow this guy because his bio said Mary Poppins Returns. Overnight, he got thousands and thousands and thousands of followers that followed him because he was in this film, right? So making sure you put any associations in projects that may be getting press in your bio when, of course, it's appropriate. Okay, so keywords, associations, and very important, Reagan, I can't see if you're correcting me on the screen, but very important, hobbies and interest. Give us an inside view into who you are. And obviously, this might be one of those things that you're posting about being a mom, a vegan, a dog lover. Like, what are we going to see on your feed? Include it in your bio. These are little touch points that when you do them correctly, people are going to follow you and go, oh my God, I love Indian food too. I had Indian food lover for a while, and I can't tell you how many comments I'd get. I have quite a large cowboy boot collection. I have 31 pairs of cowboy boots. So that's in my bio, is that I love cowboy boots. And I have since I've been a child. So it's a connection point. I can't tell you how many people comment on my bio. I teach social media to artists. Like, what do cowboy boots have to do with that? It doesn't matter. It's who I am. It's something that is important to me, and it's a connection point with my audience. Okay, so those are some things that you can include for your bio. And yes, they can be personal. Okay, and they can even be personal about causes that are important to you. Okay, don't be afraid to, if there's something that isn't a charity, a cause, especially if it reflects something that you've gone through. As long as you're doing it in an honest, open way, you can include that in your social media and your bio as well. Okay, so let me know if that makes sense, Reagan. Okay, great. I'm going to go back to Ariana Fire. I'm answering questions. I just saw some new people had joined. We first talked about the 10 ways to clean up your social media, and now I'm taking some questions about what we talked about today and about social media for actors. Shane Martin, I just saw that one, so let me get to that. How good is LinkedIn for actors? Great question. And actually, it's my video this week. So if you go to youtube.com/Heidi Dean, you will see that video Thursday where I talk about LinkedIn for actors. And I'm going to give you 10 ways to really optimize your LinkedIn and make the most of it. So go check out my channel. It's free. It'll give you tons of Netflix binge-worthy content for these times. So Shane Martin, LinkedIn can be good for actors, but this is where those questions, I don't know if you were here when I was talking about number one. The first thing we talked about today is make sure you're on the right platforms. And those 4 questions that we went through. If you weren't, let me just go through those 4 questions. Will this platform help me reach my career goals? Do the industry people I know and want to know hang out there? If you're on a show, do my fans spend time there? LinkedIn's not going to help you as much with that. It's not that type of network, and you'll never be asked to post on LinkedIn for your career. I shouldn't say never, but I've never seen it in a contract. So, and lastly, is this a platform I enjoy? So really 3 of those questions really can be applied to LinkedIn. So what are your goals for your career? If it's to stay top of mind, people you already know in the business, then yeah, depending on your age, like I just turned 40. So, I do have a LinkedIn profile. I don't use it as much because I like to play where more of my actors, clients, and students play. But I have a lot of connections on there that I've known since college, so since high school. So I wouldn't delete my LinkedIn. It's actually a good place for me to be. So think about the people you already know in the business. Are they there? In terms of going out and trying to meet new people in the business, you can use groups, and I'm going to talk about that in the video this week. You can use hashtag searches to find new people. The platforms really aren't built that way. That LinkedIn isn't built to really go out and find new people for your career. You got to think about, why is a casting director or a producer on LinkedIn? They have a business, and casting directors are looking for work all the time, just like actors. You guys are not that different, actually. Producers, too, are looking for collaborations. Filmmakers, also collaborations, but most of them are looking for work. So it's not always the best place for you to go out and ask for an audition, right? I'm not saying it can't happen. It's just not usually the best place. So make sure you're asking those questions, Shane. That will help you decide if LinkedIn is right for you. Also, it might help you to understand how I see the social media universe. I really look at social media that there's two types of social media networks. We have our interest based networks, and then we have our networks that are based on the graph search. So who you know. Let me explain because I know that sounded like gibberish. So interest based networks are Pinterest, Twitter, Instagram. Those are the networks where we follow people, places, or things that we're interested in. It's a common interest. It's totally cool to follow someone we don't actually know, but we're interested in them or the subject matter of the account, right? Those are interest based networks. Graph search networks like Facebook and LinkedIn they're more based on who you know and then friends of friends you know, right? So those networks aren't really the best place to go out and necessarily meet and message new people. I know there's always exceptions, but most people in the business will say, do not message me on my Facebook profile. I can't tell you how many messages and friend requests I get every day. And that's not the place to do it with me unless you know me, right? But hey, go find me on Twitter and Instagram because that is more appropriate to meet new people, around common interest. So Shane, so think about it that way, that LinkedIn isn't the best place for meeting new people in our business. It might be in other businesses. So that may help you decide whether or not you should be there. And like I said, that video coming out on my channel on Thursday, LinkedIn for Actors, will also help you. Good timing, right? Okay, Ariana Fire. I see there's a bunch. So I'm just going to do as many as I can. And also, I got your name right, Reagan. Awesome. I said it two different ways, so I guess I had to get it right in some way. All right. Ariana Fire. What if you don't feel like you have a lot to share, like you don't have a lot of credits? Well, I kind of answered this earlier because your social media isn't just about your acting career. Because here's the deal, even the biggest actors out there, they don't work all the time. So if you're only posting about your actor's life, you are gonna run out of things to post, right? And you're gonna be stuck. And this is why when I just talked about not too long ago, I know you asked this question before then, thinking about that Fab Four, thinking about those four things that make you fabulous, and at least two of them have nothing to do with acting. So guess what? Those are things you're gonna talk about all the time. Your dog, your fitness, your life, going to the gym because it has to tie in with your actor brand, obviously. Your life as a mom, especially if it ties into the kinds of roles you play, and then your acting career. And you have to know that like your bookings aren't your only things that you post on social media. There's so many things that are part of your actor's life that aren't about booking a job. I mean, most actors spend more time auditioning and prepping for getting work than actually working. Even when I know I'm married to a Broadway and television actor, like who works a lot, but I'd say most of the time he is actually prepping for auditions more than actually working, right? So prepping for auditions and prepping for auditions could be, do not show sides, do not tell people what you're auditioning for, but the idea that you are out there auditioning, or what books are you reading? There's so many books on the craft of acting or the business of acting that you could be reading right now. That's a post, right? Connecting with your followers. It doesn't just have to be about acting. Ask your followers questions. It's the best way to beat the algorithm right now, really. Make connections and don't make it all about you. But where your question is that, I don't feel like I have a lot to share because I'm not booking. Well, that's the thing. It's not just about you, it's about your audience. And that's why we want those shared connections that they can understand, like being a mom, a vegan, a dog, a fitness lover. Those are things we all understand, whether we're actors or not, because right now you might have a lot of followers that are actors and in your circle of friends, but as your career grows, most of your followers won't be actors. So you need to give them a reason to follow you beyond the projects you book. Okay, makes sense. And Ariana, I'm not just trying to plug my YouTube channel. If you guys have seen it, there's like a gazillion videos, and I have a bunch of videos on what to post. So so I can get to another question, that's going to totally help you. Okay, and that's Heidi Dean on YouTube, guys. Okay, cool. Let's see. Jack Dwyer, what do you think about having your personal page on Facebook, but then having a fan page? Because I know some people have it. I got a video on that too. I have a video about personal page or our personal profile or page. Answer those four questions. Could just go right back to those 4 questions, Jack. Do not just set up a Facebook page because you read somewhere all actors should have a Facebook page. Because I'm going to tell you right now, most of the articles were written 5 years ago. And Facebook pages are different. You used to be able to get a lot of reach on your own. It's not impossible now. There are people that are getting reach. But how much time and money do you want to spend to get that reach? And who are you trying to reach with that Facebook page? Okay? You might be better off using Twitter or Instagram. It might help you reach more goals. And without asking you those 4 questions, I don't know what your goals are. A lot of actors are using their personal page for their career because they're finding they're having more success with it because they're able to use their personal Facebook profile really to stay top of mind with the people they already work with. Okay, so stop just letting people into your Facebook world because you can only have 5,000 friends anyways, just because they follow you guys. Use your profile, a Facebook profile, as that inner circle of people you've already worked with. So you can stay top of mind with them. Because really, guys, the fastest way to book new work as an actor is going to come from the people you already know, the relationships you've already established. And the more you can stay top of mind with them, the more often they're going to just be like, you popped into my mind. I just thought of you for that. Happens all the time. But nowadays, it's not just because you popped into their mind, it's because you were staying top of mind on Facebook with your profile. Okay. And there's all different ways, Jack, that you can use your Facebook profile and actually organize your friends into list and actually serve post to different list of people. You can organize your Facebook friend list into like people I've worked with in theater, people I've worked with on TV, people I went to college with or acting school with. You can actually totally put people in lists and just see feeds of their post. It's really easy to stay top of mind that way. Okay, so think about what your big goal is. If your goal is just to stay top of mind with Facebook, then profile. If it's to really grow a big audience, are you using Instagram and Twitter? And are you doing those at 1,000% and seeing growth? Because if you're not, I'd work on those ones and say, Facebook page. But really, those 4 questions will help you. So let me know if that helped, Jack. And let me know, Katie, if I have any other questions. Okay, Sarah Jewel, as an actor, is it better to have a creator or business account on Instagram? Great question. So let me just sit Indian style right now. So I don't know if everybody knows the difference. So let me just back up a little bit with that question. So on Instagram, there's actually 3 choices for accounts now. You can have a regular account, you can have a business account, and you can have a creator account. Creator account is the newer one. I do have a YouTube video on the difference between should you have a business or a regular account. So Sarah, that may help you. I haven't added creator to it yet because they've actually just now allowed anybody to have a creator account. And up until recently, you had to have 10,000 followers or a verified account really to get it. So here's the difference, guys. So you can just have the regular account. A business account, you're going to get added features. You're going to get inbox features. So in direct messages, you can segment your messages. Like this was unread, this is flagged. It's actually pretty great to have to be able to sift through those. So inbox features is different. If you want to schedule your post and actually have them be scheduled without you having to have it pop up on your phone and verify it, you have to have a business account. Okay. The auto post feature is only on a business account. Now, creator account, you can still use a scheduler, but what's going to happen is it's going to pop up on your phone at the time that you want to schedule it. And then you have to say, yes, I'll post it now. And then you manually post it. Okay. If you want to run ads, so if you're someone that has content, you may at some point want to run ads. Well, guess what? You need a business account for that. So it really depends what your goals are. Are you producing content? For a lot of content creators, I say business account all the way because there are so many cool features with business accounts where we can actually, I'm going to get very techie on you guys here, but we can actually take and create ads audiences for all these anyone that visits our Facebook profile or our Instagram account and or our website, and we can put them into audiences. So if we do have a new web series episode, or maybe you're a comedian and you're touring and you have a show, we can serve them ads. And creating these audiences through our business account makes these ads super cheap. So if you're a content creator, business account all the way. Okay. If you're planning to do collaborations, maybe you already have a following, creator account is good because there's a lot more features for brand sponsorships and collaborations built into the settings. Okay. If none of that sounds like it applies to you, then there's really, if you don't have 10,000 followers, then I'd say have a regular account. Okay. Because once you have 10,000 followers, you're going to, for the swipe up, you're going to need to have the other two. Okay. So let me know, Sarah, if that answers your question. I'm going to have another cup of coffee, another sip of coffee. This is like 5 cups of coffee. All right. Let me see. Lori Laney Shanks. When posting on Twitter or Instagram, is it possible to post or tweet too much? Yes, it is. And this is where it's really important to listen to your audience. It goes back to kind of the analytics. Sometimes we get so set on, oh, we heard we need to post every day on Instagram. You read it somewhere, and that's just advice that doesn't even make sense, because every account is different, every audience is different, and so you just started posting, right? But you're not really listening to your audience. You're not really listening to looking at the stats. A lot of people nowadays on Instagram, if you're posting every day, you're spreading out with how the algorithm works. You're literally spreading out your engagement, especially if you don't have a big audience. And you might be better served posting 3 times a week instead of 5. I found that with my account. And I have 30,000 some followers. I found that oh, wow, I'm actually getting more engagement. It's almost like they're more excited to see my post 3 times a week than 5 times when there's so much in their feed, right? And then I could really focus my time on quality over quantity and focus more of my time on engaging with accounts and engaging with actors, which is actually how I grow my following, and not spending so much time posting. Okay, Lori? So yes, it's possible to post too much. There is no blanket set number for everybody, but that's where, looking at your analytics, you're going to start to see patterns. You're going to start to see, oh, okay, when I post 3 times a week, I seem to get better engagement, right? Versus 5 times a week. And it's different on different platforms. I used to post 12 times a day on Twitter. Now I post 5, 6 times a week, and I get really good engagement on Twitter. Twitter is actually my main platform. So just look at your post and see how people are reacting to it. Really, I say that I actually just lost 25 pounds. Woohoo! And I say that one of the biggest things that I did when I lost this weight is I listened to my body. That was so important, because I was trying so many different fitness things, and I've changed my diet and my exercise. I really had to listen to my body. But on social media, your audience is your body, okay? And not enough times we actually listen to our audience and see what they're reacting to. How many times do they like to see us go live? Oh my God, there's people. How many of you guys know? Give me a little like in the comments. How many of you have someone on Instagram that every time you sign on, you swear every time you're on, you have a notification that says so-and-so is going live right now? And I'm kind of like, wow, enough already. It makes me want to unfollow them, because and when I click over, there's hardly anybody there all the time. And I applaud them for going live and doing that, but also I feel like they're not listening to their body, and on social media, that's their audience, right? So Lori, really think about that. What works for you, so you can still produce quality content, but also don't overwhelm your audience. Okay. It's better to leave them wanting more than overwhelm them with content. Okay. Same question, Leandra. How useful is to go live on Facebook or Instagram? Live can be great. Can be so great to connect with your audience. Also, live on Instagram kicks you to the front of the stories feed. So it's like a guaranteed way to actually show up in people's, stories, is to go live. So you want more, you think that you're not showing up in people's feed, you're mad about the algorithm. Well, yeah, start going live. Not every day. But yes, live will definitely help with that. Facebook going live also will help you show up in the feed. Okay. Facebook owns Instagram, if you guys don't know that. And they're all about, Mark Zuckerberg put out a statement, we're all about having people make conversations, and things like live help people have conversations, because like we're doing now, Lori, Leandra, everybody that had these comments, you're saying something to me and I'm able to answer back, right? Even if I can't see chat right now, guys. So yes, it's actually very useful to go live on Facebook and Instagram. I can't give you a number though, because I'd have to know, Leandra, like how big is your following? How often are you posting? Think about Instagram right now. Is it used to be one giant party. Now it's like four parties. Instagram. You've got Instagram Live, you've got stories, you've got IGTV, and you have the feed. So the party is spread out. There's a lot of things happening right now. So I'd have to know your strategy for all four to say, yeah, why don't you do this for live? And think about a themed thing you can do for live too that people can look forward to. I have a client who's doing like a Friday happy hour with their followers. They just call it a happy hour. I think they drink tea actually during the happy hour, but it's just a time that anyone can join them and just catch up about what's going on in the week. And but it's a themed Instagram happy hour. Okay. Um, all right. Okay, cool. So I think I got everyone's question. Like I said, if you're watching the replay, I mean, if you didn't get your question answered, I will try to hop in and see what I can do. Also, find me on social media, and I'm happy to answer questions. I also go live regularly on Instagram, Facebook, and on Twitter. I'm there like all the time. So I'm marketingforactors.com. That is the number 4, and marketing for actor kind of everywhere. And yes, also check out the YouTube channel, because if you have questions, they're probably answered there, and that's under Heidi Dean. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. Stay safe, stay healthy. I'm sending you lots of good vibes, and until next time, I'll see you guys on social. Bye.